This is the 5-Minute Youth Devotional Reading with Alex Sarria.
1 out of 10. Faith and Trust, February 2nd. Hebrews 11:8 says, "It was by faith that Abraham obeyed when God called him to leave home and go to another land that God would give him as his inheritance. He went without knowing where he was going." Heracles' accounts were famous in Greek antiquity. Peisander of Rhodes wrote a poem narrating the 12 trials that the mythological hero went through as he fought against the most fantastical adversaries. In reality, there were only 10 feats because he was helped in 2 of them by Iolao, his companion. And so his adventures against the lion of Nemea, the hydra of Lerna, and the wild boar of Erymanto became well known. Jewish commentators of Jesus' time, perhaps influenced by Heracles' exploits, argued that Abraham had also passed 10 tests. There's a big difference in his stories though. He doesn't fight against mythological creatures or beings, but against great problems of life that are much more damaging than those of fictitious ones. Genesis 12:1 presents us with the first of those 10 tests, abandonment. Abraham had settled into the comfort of economic well-being, had put down his roots with his family, developed friendships and all kinds of relationships, and filled his spaces with things. And suddenly, God asks him to leave it all. And he does leave it all. Why? Because he had faith. That means that he trusted God, that he believed in God, and that he was consistent with God. Faith always rests on these 3 axes. First, there must be a relationship which builds trust. Second, there must be knowledge, because knowing is understanding and appreciating. And third, it is to be living a living faith. There must be consequence, consistency, and action. Abraham went out without knowing where he was going because he had experienced God's hand in the past, because he had delighted in his presence, because he had really lived all that, not simply contemplated theories. According to Merriam-Webster, success is a favorable or desired outcome. It depends a lot on what we leave and what we don't leave behind. People go out shopping, partying, or out to see what's happening, but what do they give up on those outings? Do you keep the faith? What Abraham kept was his faith, and he did not hesitate to leave the rest behind. Though he didn't know where he was going, he was certain that things would go well for him. Today's a good day to think about what interferes with your faith and whether or not to put those things aside or not. Facing the consequences may be a test for you, maybe not. But just thinking about this will give more authenticity to your faith. So, don't hesitate.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this was helpful for you, please share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Always remember this: walking with God is the greatest thing you could ever do. You are His priority. Make Him yours, and you will always live out your purpose. God bless.